Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Teltonika Telematics webinar dedicated to a brand new TCT, Telematics Configuration Tool. Let's give our audience a few minutes to connect. I see that we truly have international community joining us today. It's amazing to see so many registrations for this event. My name is Ksenia Doля. I am Project Development Manager at Teltonika Telematics, and I will be your host today. Moreover, I have experts that will help me at the very end of this webinar to answer your questions. Unfortunately, I don't have Alexander Buslo that I promised you, but I have my colleague's project coordinator, effortless, and moreover, I have a very special expert, the product owner, Valdemaras. So it's a high time to ask your questions. That's a rare occasion to have, the brain and soul behind the solution answering your questions live. So use this opportunity. During the webinar, you can leave your questions in Q&A section at the very bottom of your screen. This way, we will definitely answer your questions. We won't miss anything. But of course, you can use the chat as well. Share your reactions, share your thoughts about the solution that we are showing you today. And of course, don't hesitate to greet your fellow colleagues from the IoT industry. Okay. And I also wanted to mention that we will do the recording of this session. And if you want to watch this, or you have some of your colleagues that can't attend live, don't hesitate. We will put this on our YouTube channel in 1 week or 2. So we have you covered anyway. Okay, so without further ado, let's dig deeper into the topic of this webinar. So we have the following agenda for today. We will start from Teltonika Configurator we are all familiar with, and the challenges its users face. Then we will overview the key innovations in new TCT solution. We will go through the solution itself. You will see its user interface. I will highlight the key things that you should bear in mind while working with the TCT. And of course, I will tell you what kind of learning materials we prepared for you, because of course we did that. And last but not least, as I mentioned, we will have live Q&A session. So don't forget, you can leave your questions all along this webinar. My colleagues will be answering them on the go. So really use this opportunity. Teltonika Configurator was released in 2017. And at the time, it was definitely a breakthrough. It replaced our old FM configurator and offered updated design, introduced device status page, and overall helped with device maintenance. And so also it allowed to update device firmware and provided additional information in tooltips. Moreover, with this configurator, our customers could connect devices to PCs using Bluetooth, not only using USB cable. Meantime, it doesn't mean that Teltonika Configurator is a perfect solution. There are several challenges that our customers or even our own support engineers face while working with it. Our devices evolve constantly and are able to collect more and more data from vehicles and assets. So it's definitely a good thing for the customer, but it's a challenge for a telematics engineer. Now there could be around 6,000 parameters to be set, and it's not an easy thing to go through all of them without making any mistakes or missing anything. Moreover, we ask the customers what issues they see in Teltonika Configurator, what issues they face working with it, and the biggest amount of customers highlighted finding AVL and SMS parameter IDs, setting up Bluetooth sensors, applying usage scenarios, for example, eco driving, crash detection, etc., and configuring inputs and outputs. And most importantly, while new parameters are constantly added to Teltonika Configurator, the solution itself hasn't seen any major updates since its release in terms of usability or functions that configurator itself has. So it doesn't apply the user experience understanding that we have now. It doesn't apply the recent technologies. So all those factors combined pushed us to rethink how we approach device configuration. And I am proud to present you new Telematics Configuration Tool, or TCT as we call it at home. This solution is available for all Teltonika Telematics customers by default. You can install it on your PC right away and access everything it has to offer. But what does it offer? Why should you switch from a familiar Teltonika configurator to something else? Well, let me start from the feature that would probably eclipse everything here. TCT is a single automatically updated configuration solution. It is a one software on your PC to set your devices. All it needs is an internet connection, and it will check for the new features, new firmware supported, new updates by itself. No more going to Wiki, searching for the right version of Teltonika Configurator for your devices. And as if it's not enough, it has a set of other advantages. It has built-in search and filter capabilities. So remember all these like 6,000 parameters and finding parameter IDs. It has a completely rebuilt design, which is not only good looking, as you might see on the screenshot already, but it also takes into account user experience. Also, TCT has parameter dependencies to avoid understandable human mistakes that we all do while working with complex solutions. And last but not least, now TCT will help you to onboard your newbies with Device Setup Wizard. So I hope I managed to hook you up a little bit. But let's dive in and go through the interface and examine all these features in details. I will start from the very first page you see while you load a configuration solution. Similar to Teltonika Configurator, you can connect your device to TCT or create a configuration file to use it later, for example, send it to devices via PhotoWeb. I especially would like to say a few words about offline configuration. Now you don't have to go through the list of versions anymore. The latest version will be selected automatically by pressing a configure button. Both search and technology filters are available that helps users to find the devices easier. Also, we changed device wireframes to actual device renders. Now you will be able to recognize your device at a glance. Now we connected our device, we pressed configure. Now we can access device status page. Device status information in TCT is no longer put into separate tabs that you have to click on. Everything will be available on one screen. All you need to do is just to scroll down. Moreover, I'm not sure if our audience is aware of this, but in Teltonika Configurator, we had a map that was hidden behind the location hyperlink. Well, in TCT, you don't have to search for this Easter egg anymore. It's available at a glance. Also, I want to draw your attention to short and self-explanatory list of settings sections on the blue panel on the left. We completely reworked our approach to device configuration to make the whole experience more user-friendly and easy to understand, both for telematics professionals and for those that just start working in our field. But before we start configuring our device, let's check for updates. As I said, there will be only one TCT on your PC, and it will automatically check for bug fixes, new firmware supported, and functionalities that we add, just to make sure that you have internet connection. The information about the update will be available in the new notification section in the right top corner of the screen. Yes, there is a notification section now that also shows the information about configuration issues. And of course, new TCT allows you to track what changes were made with each new update and track what version you have now. So this way you always know what you're getting with each download you make, and you can also check your software setting or software version, in the user settings. So as I said, no more going to wiki for new version, no more searching for updates yourself. You will have everything in the configuration software itself. Okay, so we checked for updates, installed it, and now we can start configuring our device. In order to help our users to navigate through multiple device parameters, we implemented search functionality. Search can be performed by entering parameter name or parameter ID. Also, TCT will save your search history. All you need to do is to click on a relevant search result, and you will be transported to a required configuration field. This feature will allow you to save the time needed to browse multiple tabs, and will especially be useful when you need to make particular minor changes in the configuration. But what to do if you are not really sure what you should set up first, what you should search for? Well, TCT has a device setup guide that will help to highlight the necessary steps that everyone must go through to configure the device, to send records to the server, and also optional parameters that will help to get maximum from the devices you have at hand. Once user clicks on a particular setting in the list, the guided configuration is launched. TCT will transfer the user from one field to another until the list is complete or until the user exits guided mode. This feature would be especially useful for those that just start testing Teltonika telematics devices, or that, for example, has new installation engineers in a team. So device setup guide will save some of the time of your experienced team members, and they will be less involved in the onboarding process. And of course, we would like to reduce the risks of configuration mistakes. That's why we developed parameter dependencies. Not all of the parameters are enabled in TCT by default. Once you hover on the parameter and it can be activated, TCT shows you the information window. In this tooltip, you will see the clarifications, what actions you should perform, and will suggest you the next steps. For example, advanced eco driving can be activated if the source is set to GPS. There are several dependencies already implemented in TCT, and we are looking into what we should add next. As we mentioned eco driving, let's talk about device usage scenarios in general. At the very beginning of my presentation, I mentioned that setting usage scenarios is among most complicated tasks Teltonika Configurator users have to deal with. With the current configurator, we have actually two places where we can find scenarios, its features and accelerometer features. It seems very logical to us that we should create one common hub for all of them. Features Hub gathers all scenarios in one place and has three groups, which is driving behavior with features like crash detection, eco driving, overspeeding, etc. Vehicle protection that includes mobilizer, jamming, and so on and so forth, and other features that don't really fit in any particular category group of parameters. Jesus, but still allowed to implement particular usage scenarios. And as you can see, blue badge indicate that the feature is enabled, white badge disabled. So this way you see at a glance what is already set for your device. Let's focus on one of the groups. You can expand the group to see features with the descriptions by clicking on it. This will be especially useful for the new users as it explains what each scenario is about. As for more experienced users, you can press on the badge to immediately enter feature page. Additionally, you can completely switch off the descriptions in your user settings. And here you can proceed with the feature configuration and focus on it without being bothered by anything else. Developed navigation allows switching between features without going back to the feature hub. And also, I would like to draw your attention to the ID icons next to each parameter that you see. They are added all across new TCT. Now you don't need to search for AVL or SMS IDs. Again, they are available at a glance. And now let's touch upon input and output setting. This part of device configuration is also challenging for our customers. That's why we did our best to improve it and provide a few configuration shortcuts. On this page and all across the city, we implemented search and filter capabilities, and as I said, added parameter IDs and also added tooltips. All the blue icons you see on the screen bring additional information to TCT users. This way you can set your device without a deep dive into wiki documentation. And as you can see, you can search for the parameter, or you can filter based on the status, and even you can determine what particular columns should be visible for you. Well, now our configuration is complete and it's time to save it. Well, it seems that there's nothing groundbreaking that we could add here. But actually we did. We've added a long-awaited feature that allows to save only changes setting in a file. The only parameter always saved is photo web setting because it's required to send file over there. This will greatly help those who want to change a single parameter without changing the entire configuration. This small but useful feature will help to optimize traffic consumption. And moreover, you can track the changes made to the configuration file. On your screen, you can see a drop-down menu with all the changes made with the name and ID of each parameter. To sum it up, new TCT allows you to get a single automatically updated configuration solution, to onboard your newbies with device setup guide, to search for required parameter and minimize configuration time, to get clarifications directly in TCT with the tooltips and avoid wasting your time on scrolling the wiki. And finally, to avoid configuration mistakes with parameter dependencies. While starting to work with TCT, please bear in mind that it's a desktop solution for Windows, that it works with base firmware, with device firmware, starting from the version that you see on the screen right now. If your device has older version, you would need to update it. If you are using a special custom firmware or work with our asset or personal trackers, we are kindly asking you to continue using Teltonika Configurator for the time being. Meantime, don't forget that TCT is a dynamically updated solution, and you should expect regular software updates. In particular, the upcoming updates will contain device connection via Bluetooth. Well, for now, we are kindly asking you to use USB cable to connect your device to PC or send configuration files with photo if remote connection is required, but Bluetooth will follow shortly. We will gradually support special firmware in TCT, and we will make sure that it fits your custom projects. We will also add manual GFN's creation for professional product line. It's not available at the moment. LLS calibration table and read records functionality. So for the moment, TCT doesn't support such features. And don't forget that you won't need to search for these updates anymore. They will be delivered to you automatically once it's released. And in order to make sure that you get familiar with the new TCT, we prepared wiki documentation. Also, we did short how-to videos, and we are here to help you during the transition period and to answer all of your questions. And yeah, I am thanking you for your attention and for the time that you spent with us today. I hope that you will start using our solution right away, or even maybe tried it out already, and you will share with us your thoughts, your issues that you're facing maybe, or the things that you like, because we are very interested to hear your thoughts and satisfy your expectations from us as a provider. And yeah, I wish you the great day, and see you around at the next Teltonika Telematics webinars. Have a great day.